Rapaziada, bora aí então com um vídeo da Drift HQ com o apresentador aí Adam LZ mostrando o Dodge Viper do Jim Carney. Esse carro aí, mano, é um projeto totalmente único, né, no Drift.
V10 Viper. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for having us here.
V10ão. Vamos ver aí o que eles falam, né?
On the best circumstances, do you want to give a little explanation of why your car's been in the shop the past couple days? Yeah, we've been here for the last 4 days. Thank you very much for opening up your shop to us. We had a hurt motor coming through FD Orlando, and we're just able to limp it all the way through. We had a camshaft start to come apart, and crank was also walking forward that smoked the pulse washers. So we were just barely able to get it through. I was almost glad that we didn't go any further in the competition because I think we would have scattered the motor all over the track. So this thing is wild. Is it fair to say this probably...
Então aparentemente isso foi ou antes ou um pouco depois da etapa de Orlando, e ele tava aí com o Jim Carney, né, com o V10 machucado. Aparentemente o Adam LZ tinha algum outro motor aí pra vender pra ele, emprestar, dar, enfim, e aí conseguiu fazer essa troca pra ele poder andar na competição em si.
Makes the most power in FD? It definitely makes the most power in FD, as up till a couple of years ago.
É o carro que faz mais potência na Fórmula Drift?
And how much power is that? We've made 1800 on it, but we typically run it in the window of 1000 to 1300, like all depending on the track.
Deixa eu até voltar aqui.
But we typically run it in the window of 1000 to 1300, like all depending on the track. That's so wild. These motors, like, is this a stroker? Is it stock displacement?
Ele então, tipo assim, o carro tem 1.800 cavalos, mas ele anda sempre numa janela entre 1.000 a 1.300 cavalos, pelo que eu entendi. É a mesma coisa do carro do João Barion, que tem um motor para 1.700, 1.800 cavalos, sei lá, e anda aí na faixa de 1.000 a 1.300 HP.
No, it's stock displacement motor, yeah.
Ô, louco. Não é stroker, é estoque.
8.3 liters, that's crazy.
8.3 litros.
More of like a peaky power band. The exact same power and torque all the way through. This thing's so wild. It's crazy, yeah. So I want to know the story, why a Viper? I know, I think you should grab a chair because it's going to take a while. Really? Right, give me the short. So when I was 7 years old, I was on vacation with my family in Spain, coming back to the airport in Dublin. I was asleep on the back seat of my mom's arms. My dad hopped in the middle of the road at a dealership, and there was a red Generation 2 in a dealership up on a turntable at 4 o'clock in the morning. Walked up, we're looking in the window like this, and I was just in love with him ever since. So why not drift him, right? Yeah, and then I was fortunate enough to get a call off Samuel Hubenet, who ran the factory Dodge team in 2010, and they had a seat open for 11 and 12, and I drove the car for him, and then after that, then I was just hooked on him, right? It's a beautiful car.
É uma história desde criança, né?
I think when I look at it is weight distribution. Is it optimal for drifting? Did you need to do a lot of stuff moving it around? Yeah, we had to move around a lot. So these chassis were predominantly built for track racing, like for time attack and that kind of stuff. So they were like, everything was planned out like as a race car, and then making a straight car afterwards was like an afterthought. So we had to move around some stuff that's more predominant like in the drifting world than
Então, mano, esse Dodge aí, o bagulho foi construído pra pista mesmo, né? Mais pra corrida, pro track em si. E aí eles tiveram algumas modificações pra tornar ele pra drift. E, mano, o áudio aparentemente tá um pouquinho ruim, né? Tá dando umas bugadinhas aí, mas vamos levando que eu acho que dá pra entender.
51.2, 48.8. Interesting. I've been talking to a lot of the teams lately, just like out of curiosity, seeing where weight distribution.
É bem equilibrado, hein? Tem 51% na dianteira e 48% e uns quebrados na traseira. Mano, bem equilibrado. Pro carro, o carro parece que tem um capô muito grande, né? Parece que a frente tá mais alocada a frente. O peso tá alocado mais na frente, né? Mas
people are either 50-50 or a little bit biased to the rear. So I think FD predominantly is more biased actually towards the rear because we all have massive tires and making crazy horsepower. I traditionally prefer driving a car that's like even 51 on the front. I think they actually drive nicer. And you don't have this like lag like coming off of full lock on the way back, you know. My thought is like on the smaller tracks, having the little bit more front heavy, the car's quicker to transition. But I guess on like the bigger bank tracks like Irwindale, having a little bit of weight over the rear probably helps you be a little faster.
Rapaziada, esse negócio de peso, mano, na traseira e tudo mais, influencia sim, dependendo da pista, né? Se é uma pista mais de alta, uma pista mais de baixa, banks, que nem ele falou aí, né? Que é o oval, se você tem um peso um pouco mais na traseira, depende, mano, depende das circunstâncias, te deixa o carro mais fácil de você apontar, de você colocar onde você quer. Mas é muito de piloto pra piloto também, mano.
Because Colette's dad has the truck that has one of these. Do I just pull harder?
Yeah, just pull harder. It's a drift car, right?
All right. Jeez, dude. The packaging on this is actually pretty impressive for how much there's going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's more like a power station than an engine, right?
So, 2 Garretts, what size turbos?
3582 Gen 2s.
And is all like the hot piping stuff, is it custom or is it stuff that you would buy if you had like a Viper street car?
It is all custom. There's nothing on this car is factory except the tunnel. And then obviously the stuff in FD that we can't modify, like the shock towers or whatever. But absolutely everything else is ours.
Front suspension, custom?
Yep. We designed this. I started developing it in 2015, and then it was so expensive. Like had stuff and fucking everything back then was crazy expensive, and I just ran out of money. So it took me 3 years to actually from concept to taking the parts and then first actually testing that, you know.
Now, is there anyone else that's running a Viper drift car?
Rapaziada, e essa parada, tipo, do drift, mano, tá crescendo, tá evoluindo, é um negócio legal, porque, querendo ou não, barateia, né? Começa a baratear as peças.
As far as I know, no one I know. No, we're definitely the only car in the US. I heard rumors there was a car in Russia.
Would it be cost effective? I mean, despite the price of the car, but like Vipers are getting cheap enough now. Could you build a version of this on like a basic like stock engine, stock drivetrain setup, and would it be fun to drive?
So I have a practice car, which is completely stock motor, ECU, everything front mounted rad, FT6 and just a 2-way differential in it. The cars are actually reaping up in price at the moment. Like even a convertible Gen 3 car now is north of 55 to 60 grand at the moment.
What about Gen 2s? Are those no good?
I personally have no love for them whatsoever. I don't know. I don't actually fit in them, so it's probably this handful of you. The windshield is here. So.
All right, you got twin Garretts, you got the best turbos. What about your bottom end? Is it built?
Yep. It's all, we use Hello rods, Halley's crank, AP pistons, ARP, head sides and everything else.
Dry sump?
Yep.
Now, how similar would this be to like one of those big power straight line Vipers, like in terms of engine package?
The engine package is similar in many ways, but then it's obviously got our own kind of a twist on it, like in drifting. We actually run in this car like a factory camshaft.
Interesting.
Because a lot of the cars, they don't see any amount of heat because they have so much airflow with them. And we ran aftermarket cams in this before, and we found it was actually the block gets hot, like it actually starts to twist and the camshaft sits in the block.
That's no fun. Looking at your packaging, it looks pretty cool. Not too much going on up there. So what do you have mounted in the rear?
What we have in the rear is typical Pro FD stuff, right? I'll get the stay. So radiator, fuel cell, battery and nitrous. Basically enough to make a bomb.
It looks very organized. I really like how you kind of tidied everything up.
I'm
e é bem apertado, né, mano?
On packaging and stuff when it comes to cars, and probably have spent way too long in this car by moving things at a couple of millimeters and stuff. But
the engine stay pretty cool.
Yeah, for the most part. Like after 2 laps of FD, we'll be looking at 205.
That's not bad at all.
Quarter temp, yeah. So
especially when you think about like the biggest thing that people forget is drift cars. They don't see any airflow because we're going sideways the whole time. So if you took a drag car or like a street car that makes 1,500 horsepower and ran it sideways at red line for 2 minutes straight,
there's no way.
Yeah, there's no way. It's super cool. Is that a carbon nitrous bomb?
Rapaziada, é até por isso que o pessoal joga o radiador pra trás, né? Porque na frente ali não pega vento. Até pega, mas não pega aquele ventão de frente. Então você jogando pra trás, fazendo o caminho do vento, passando por dentro do radiador, vai te refrigerar, né? Mais aí. E dá melhor do que um radiador frontal ali. Eu uso radiador frontal ainda, meu carro, mano, esfria de boa, não esquenta. Mas faz todo sentido.
winter's the same as everyone else. I actually run a speedway differential in mine.
Yeah, I noticed it's a bit different. What's the reason for that?
Because the mounting location just suits our packaging better. And the old guy that owns the company is a really good friend of mine. So that's what we use.
I never noticed the Vipers are all fiberglass. For whatever reason, I thought that they were metal, so that's kind of cool.
Caramba.
Now, is this the
O Viper é todo de fibra, esse Viper aí. E eles estavam falando sobre o diferencial, e normalmente o pessoal usa aqueles diferencial da Winters. Esqueci o nome, tem outros também. Mas é um que é com a plaquetinha mais bonitinha, assim, né? Por fora e tudo mais. Mas esse aí, aparentemente, ele entra bem, né? O espaço dele comporta bem ali no
same
Dodge
chassis
Viper.
that we crashed into each other in
Doideira.
Texas?
That is, I was just actually admiring my hole in the side of your car.
Yeah, if you know anyone that can pull a dent out of
Ai.
my, what would that even
Sorry
be?
about that.
My sill? Yeah,
Your
that's
sill side rocker.
yeah, it's a
It's
bad
pretty
one.
smoked. I'm sorry about that. I kind of feel guilty actually.
Yeah.
It's such a nice
It
car.
happens. I'll return the favor one day. Hopefully,
sure, I'm
hopefully
sure.
not soon or on purpose, but it's part of drifting.
But yeah, this car was originally a Gen 4 car, and the chassis are almost identical with the new chassis. So in our contract for last year, we had to run a Gen 5 car, and the bodywork I was after purchasing was not after showing up in time. So 2 weeks before, FD, I bought a car off a Copart, took off all the bodywork and put it onto this car.
That's sick. Yeah.
Uou.
So
All right, let's.
Então, rapaziada, vocês entenderam aí, né? Esse Corvette, esse Viper é uma geração 4. Só que, na real, o contrato dele, né, com os patrocinadores e tudo mais, era pra ser o geração 5. E aí, o que ele fez? Ele comprou um outro Viper, mano, só pra pegar a roupa, né, a lataria e tudo mais, as fibras, né? Jogar lá e, mano, poder
Let's look inside what you got going
andar
on in here.
topzão, bonitão.
All right, Samson's gearbox.
Samsung's gearbox, Sticky e-brake, Otech keypad, and a Elwood pedal box.
Chique.
Super simple. I like a car to be really, really basic. If it's not needed, it wouldn't be there. But yeah, and it's clean and as much carbon as I was able to get in there.
Is that all custom stuff, or is that?
Yeah,
stuff that people can buy?
we got the dashes made. They're actually Gen 3 dashes.
Now, is that tunnel the factory height, or is
That is the factory height, yeah.
that's
yeah.
high?
Yeah, it's really high. Actually, get in and see what way you are with your elbow on it.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I want to know,
que
I want to have you close the hood and see visibility, because this thing looks like the hood's so long. You have a hard time like seeing clips?
At the start I did, but like this time as every pro car, after a time you start kind of actually knowing where every part of your car is, right?
Yeah, honestly, like if you don't know where the clip is,
You
like
shouldn't be doing
100 feet before the clip, then you're probably not gonna hit it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see the elbow thing.
Yeah, so it's turned me actually more into a driver like this now than I used to be like this.
Yeah, that's super cool. I like it. Nice and tidy, simple.
Yep. I'll put down the hood and you'll get to see
Bem
kinda
legal mesmo,
how far
mano.
away it is.
We joked
Chique.
about with the RTR Mustangs, because they also have long front ends that are hard to see over the hood, putting like JDM parking poles on the front bumper. That way we can kind of see the proximity to clips, because we'll call our spotters and be like, hey, was I a foot off? Was I 30 feet off? I don't know. Yeah, that's a bit wild.
Yeah, it's a long way away, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd be mowing some people over for sure. That's cool. So Dean is kind enough to offer me the keys, or I should say keypad, to take a spin in this thing. I think I want to have you drive it first though, since it's a fresh motor, and let her eat,
Yeah.
put on a show.
Hopefully I don't break it first, right?
It's better to break here
I'd rather it break here, honestly.
than at New Jersey, because the thing is, he breaks it here, he gets to hang out longer, a nice air-conditioned shop, friends.
Ah,
That's a
tá.
really cool place, honestly.
Não, tá certo. O intervalo de tempo desse vídeo que eu tava achando lá no começo. Então a próxima etapa aí já é New Jersey, que vai ser a próxima etapa mesmo que a gente tá gravando
I've
agora.
actually really
Então,
enjoyed being here.
tá certo.
Playing it like online now for 2
E é
years.
melhor
I really
eles
should go by Adam's place
testarem aí
sometime.
mesmo. Se o motor
Unfortunately,
quebrar
this was
aí,
the
é melhor
circumstances
quebrar
I
aí
had
do
to
que
come by.
quebrar lá.
Hey, we've been able to hang out a bit. Now we're gonna get to go do some Viper laps at the compound in the swamp.
So there is a handle up here to pull yourself up and put your butt on the door. And then
You need instructions how to get out of these things. We'll catch you doing some laps.
Oi, o bagulho é bonito, hein? Assim, na real,
Before we get to take this thing for
particularmente...
rip, I want to remind you that from street cars to show cars to pro cars, we got you covered. We've got insanely knowledgeable staff, a ton of parts on the shelf. If you're building something like this, or if you're just building something to tinker with on your way to work, we got the parts.
É, aquela adzinha, né? básica. Eu particularmente, rapaziada, eu gosto muito do Viper, mas, mano, pra um carro de corrida, mas, pá, no drift eu ainda não consigo ver a pegada dele do drift mesmo, tá ligado? É muito louco o carro, é muito louco, pá, mas eu acho muito fora de cenário ainda. Minha opinião.
It kind of already doesn't know what it is. Like, it's not a supercar. Yeah. And it's not really a Corvette, right? I think it's like one tier above a Corvette. Yeah. All right. Do your best. I'll just drive around it first and just see it and then. Yeah, I know you've been hanging out enough to where you probably know the layout, but we'll make sure we're good.
Esquentadinho de pneu, né? Naquele pique. Ah, veio o safe do safe. Pô, olhando assim, o jeito que ele tá tocando aí, parece que é um carro muito comportado, mano. Um carro muito na mão. É, bem suave. É, isso mesmo. Tudo que o Adelzi falou eu concordo, mano. Caramba.
Crazy difference. And this is on the lowest boost setting. This is only on 6 pounds. 6 pounds? What is this, like 800 wheel? 6 pounds, 935-ish. So crazy. And it still feels so responsive. Yeah. Hell yeah. Dude, with the nitrous is fucking sick.
É porque faltou o nitrinho aí, foi suave. Mas mesmo assim, mano. Olha aí, ó. Tá andando como se fosse um carrinho de 400, 500 cavalos. Olha lá, ó. Pô, rapaziada, uma parada que me pega muito é ver o volante da rapaziada, tá ligado? Eu não sei porquê, mas tanto do Diego Ida quanto do Fausto, que anda lá no Japão, mano, o volante deles é muito... Dá pra ver que o volante é pesado. Não sei se é pesado em si, mas, mano, o volante é muito bruto, as reações, tá ligado? Tipo assim, coisa que num Viper a gente não vê, e o Viper ele parece parece ser um pouco diferente, né? As reações do drift, coisa que no Mustang a gente não vê, mano. Eu queria saber o porquê disso. Será que, tipo, é a disposição da caixa, a direção, do kit ângulo, o que é que deixa, tipo, o volante ficar... Parece que, tipo, o volante fica, mano, ou tremendo muito, ou parece que ele tá tendo que fazer muita força pra virar. Pode ser que não tá fazendo muita força pra virar, mas, tipo assim, o volante, ele tá tendo muitas reações rápidas. Então, tipo, ele fica naquela inconstância, tá ligado? Sei lá, mano, eu queria descobrir, sinceramente. Se liguem. Olha como vem o volante dele, ó. Mano, normal, tipo, um trabalho de volante bem tranquilo. Não é de um carro de 1.800 cavalos, tá ligado? Olha lá.
Roundabout going backwards, so take the tight way in.
So tight way and then come actually back out.
Yeah, because when you come back out, you can hit the drop on power, and it'll pick the front end up a lot more instead of being off throttle and floating.
So that's the problem with this car. If you're off throttle and you're on full lock, it sticks on full lock.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like that's one thing we're still trying to like get fucking perfect on it.
Yeah.
I'll just check the tires.
Yeah.
Ele passa do ângulo. É que, mano, talvez a traseira dele seja muito, tipo, encurtada mesmo, né? Seja mais dianteiro o carro. Não sei. Mas se for ver também não, né, mano? O carro é bem equilibrado de peso e tal. É muita coisa, rapaziada. O drift, mano, é muita coisa, tipo, são muitos detalhes, tá ligado? Muitos detalhes que mudam 100% a tocada, 100% tudo.
Yeah, I figured that you probably wouldn't know where the front is, but you know here very well, so you'll try to get like aggressive on the inside.
He's worried because he knows how many trees there are that I was probably gonna take off his front very expensive car.
I gave
Ooh, look at that APR.
Driving this before, who's a relatively good driver, and there was a wall on the inside, and they thought they were like 3 feet away from it, and they were like this far.
This is how much you trust me.
No, it's not that I don't trust you.
É bonito, mano. O bagulho é bonito. É bonito, mas eu não sei. Eu não sei. Vamos ver se até o final do vídeo me ganha.
I've never ridden in this car passenger.
Never ridden in a passenger?
Ever.
Wow.
Uou, olha, primeira vez, hein, no passageiro. Do próprio carro. Vamos ver se o Adelzi tocando vai ser diferente. Ah, vai sentir primeiro, né? Pá. Opa! Quebrou?
How did I break it that soon?
Quebrou? Eita, maluco!
It seems like your drive shaft just broke.
Wow.
Did I do something wrong?
It sounds like a drive shaft.
Yeah.
É...
I feel like I was just warming up the front tires. I swear the clutch was in when I handbraked.
Maybe not all the way, no?
Sorry?
Was the clutch in all the way?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was probably destined to happen. I think the drive shaft broke.
It sounded like the drive shaft to me.
It was about...
Is it drive shaft?
Pior que bem na hora que o Adam pegou, sentou no
I
carro.
don't think I did anything crazy. I'm sure in FD you got more grip.
I'm normally not as aggressive on the car if I turn it around. It's like throttle everything, no like clutch dump on it really.
I was just doing the warm-up.
I don't know, bud. Always breaking.
I feel so bad.
Oh man, that snapped.
Wow.
It's probably the cheapest thing we could break.
Nossa.
That's look. Where is it?
Oh, that.
Nossa.
Thankfully, the boys have a spare drive shaft, shortest drive shaft in the world. I'm gonna toss it on, and I'm gonna still get to do my Viper laps. I was gonna probably cry tonight, but yeah, not anymore. Not anymore.
Mano, quebrou o cardanzinho da criança. Só não dá tranco agora, hein, meu filho?
Okay, I get it.
É, agora vai.
I think I'm ready.
Diferença, quem já conhece a pista, né? Opa, só essas chacoalhadas aí que... Mano... Parece ser bem tranquilo esse carro, mano. É, tá bem gripado. É.
It feels like it's got a lot of self-steer.
É...
A lot of self-steer. Like you don't have to do a lot of wheel work. It does a lot of stuff on its own.
É disso que eu tô falando, rapaziada. É disso que eu tô falando, mano. O carro, ele... O volante dele, ele trabalha meio que sozinho, então... Olha lá. E, mano, é um bagulho muito interessante isso, porque às vezes é só um setup, é algo muito besta, mano. É um setup muito besta, uma correção, mano. Às vezes de Ackerman, de... Até de cambagem mesmo, mano, que você muda no carro que o bagulho fica outra tocada. Eu mesmo, mano, meu Chevette tava muito estranho de frente. Até quando o pessoal da Nut Media veio aqui pro Brasil, que eu levei eles lá pra andar e tudo mais, no evento, mano, o carro tava horrível de frente. A gente levou pra fazer um alinhamento lá com o Henrique, lá na Gearhead e tudo mais. Mano, o carro tá dirigindo sozinho. Eu solto o volante vem na minha mão sozinho. Tanto é que se vocês olham meus onboards andando na aldeia de Chevette, o bagulho faz assim, ó, eu jogo, Volta, eu jogo, volta, eu jogo, volta. Eu não, mano, eu não fico buscando o volante. A não ser na Chase, né? Buscando alguém e tudo mais. Mas, mano, esse é o setup que você tem que achar pro seu carro de drift, tá ligado? Quanto menos você usar volante e usar mais pedal, mano, melhor, mais fácil. É melhor pra você conseguir se concentrar em tudo que tá acontecendo. É.
How are the poles out the front?
Oh, dude, if I didn't have those, it probably would have been bad. It's crazy, like, those are actually kind of necessary.
E aqueles negocinho, né? Aquelas duas varetas ali na frente do capô é pra eles terem noção de onde que é o capô pro Adam, como é a primeira vez dele, né? Andando num Viper de drift.
Front, and no one ever really understands it, like, until they sit in the driver's seat, and then you're like, holy shit.
Dude, honestly, the gearing might even be a little bit long for the compound.
It's way long.
Yeah, because I'm just like, dude, if I'm floored in second, I'm going to be chooching. Hell yeah. Do another.
Imagenzinha de fora. Olha lá, essas duas varetas aí pra eles terem noção, né? De onde tá a frente do carro. O centro de gravidade do carro é muito baixo, o painel é alto, né? O teto é baixo. Então é bom mesmo pegar referência de visão. Ah, maluco, aí veio, hein? Aí veio. Veio dando umas puladas, mas veio. Rapaziada, eu acho que é isso, mano. Não tem mais aí, sempre aquele finalzinho do vídeo, né? Vocês estão ligados. Se inscreve aqui no canal, deixa o like aí, mano. Se você gostou aí do Viperzão, bora ver, bora torcer aí, né? Mais pro Jim Carney, mano, na Fórmula Drift. É nóis, falou, valeu e fui!